Hey everyone, Candy here. I wanted to just take a moment as I am in the process of launching a brand new community. I know a lot of you have reached out as we're having some really powerful and deep conversations as it relates to systemic and systematic racism and white privilege in this country right now and even across the world. And so many people have asked, where do I get started? How do I get resources? How do I have this conversation in a safe way where I know that I can be seen and heard and I can ask questions and not get shamed, and I really can lean in to listen for understanding. And so with that, I have actually created a brand new community. It's called Unpacking Racism, and it is a community for those who truly want to be part of the solution. It is a community for those who want to engage in this discussion and want to have access to the tools and resources to further educate themselves so that you can truly step forward and be an ally and step forward and be someone who's willing to take action to speak up and against racism, as it is such a prevalent thing in our country, and the systems that need to be dismantled, and we're going to break all of that down. And so creating this community, Unpacking Racism, is really a space where we can come together and have that conversation. Not only that, it's a space where we can listen to other stories, those who are suffering and have had to deal with this every day of their waking life. And so in order for us to truly be allies, in order for us to be advocates and co-conspirators to actually take action, we need to be educated. We need to listen. We need to see and confront our own biases straight in the eye, and we need to be able to take responsibility for the stories and the programming, the biases that maybe we've unconsciously carried, yet we still have and have given us privilege as a result. This community is extremely diverse, and that's really with great purpose so that we can engage in very vulnerable, very open, very raw, very real conversations. And so I invite those of you who want to be part of the solution, who really want to educate yourself, who want to have the resources and tools, and have a way that you can do it where you don't feel like you're being shamed, where you're not being judged, where you can fall and falter and know that you're coming from the best place possible, and you can be given feedback that's to share things. Hey, Renee, to say things like, there's another way, there are other possibilities. Maybe you might have wanted to word this differently, as you may not realize that this is a trigger for somebody else. There's all kinds of ways racism show up, and one of them is what's known as averse racism, which says we are not always conscious of the things that we're doing that have us stepping in a place of white privilege, that have us stepping in a space to say, I am doing things, not being present, unconsciously, that actually are contributing to the very problem. And so for me, this has been a very eye-opening experience as I have leaned into some new resources that have really shown where I've shown up as a racist myself and not even known that, because it's been something that has just been hardwired or something that has been conditioned based on things that I've experienced in my life, and where I don't want to make excuses for that. I want to take action to take responsibility for that. And so this community is that place for us to confront those biases. It's a way for us to confront this notion of adverse racism, which says there are things we're doing that we're not even conscious are contributing to the problem. And when we can step forward and when we can say, this is my responsibility, we then together can create solutions for change. And so I welcome and urge anyone who wants to truly, and I say this from a place of, this community is a safe community. This is a community for those who want to really be part of this conversation and be part of the solution. There will not be it will not be a space for personal agendas. It will not be a space for hate or shaming. It will not be a space for people to attack each other. It is an open forum where we can lean in together and learn. We can lean in together and listen. We can lean in together and level up our own sense of understanding and education and responsibility. And so some of the things that are going to come to light as a result of this very quickly, rapidly growing community is, one, there will be a podcast every week where I will be interviewing some of the teachers, some of the leaders, some of those who have experienced this every day. I will absolutely, we will be doing that every week, and we will be getting into some really uncomfortable and heavy conversations. And so I also share with you that this is going to be a community that's going to force you to get uncomfortable. This is going to be a community that's going to say, guess what? Hey, Sherry. Hey, Mike. That you're going to be asked to lean in and to get into what is messy and icky and what doesn't feel good, because it's only when we lean into that uncomfortable that we can have bigger conversations. And so when I say that, for those of you that want to join this, we're going to have a podcast, and there are going to be guests that I interview that are people who have been walking this walk every day, my brothers and sisters. It will be those who are leaders in allyship, those who are out creating and taking action and sharing with us ways that we can show up. And so I will be doing that weekly. In addition to sharing other tools and resources and things, we've got a whole library that's being developed within our community. I also will be going live multiple times during the week to do teaching moments and share resources and open up forums for Q&A so that we can engage in these conversations. Hey, Winnie. In addition, we will be setting up a book discussion so that we can start to purposely dig into some of the resources more deliberately. And in fact, come Monday, we're going to start with this resource. So for those of you, especially my white friends, this is absolutely a book. I encourage you that if you are looking to get foundational knowledge, if you are looking to really have your eyes open to what racism really is and our role in that, this book, I think every American should read personally. And this is a book that we're going to dig into the content and have really, really powerful discussions around what this means for us. And so come Monday, we're going to be starting to have some discussions around some of these resources, because I feel like if we're going to have a community, there needs to be different ways that people can engage together. There needs to be different ways that we can absolutely lean in. And so you may decide that one or multiple areas are a place for you to engage in the conversation. It might be all of them. And so this community is designed to give you multiple ways to engage in the conversation, multiple ways to access the resources and tools you need to be an ally, to be a force and advocate for change, to actually know how to put that action into motion to create sustainable results, to move the needle forward, to take responsibility and start to help to dismantle the very systems that have been created. That is what we're living in right now, which is the realness of racism and white privilege. And so, hey, Arch, I encourage you to join us. And so we're going to start there. We're going to start in those three places. Not to mention that this group is already fully activated. We have about 150 members right now within the last 24 hours who have shown up and are actively engaging within this community. The conversation is real, it's rich, and so I encourage you to join us. If you're interested, please message me and I will be happy to make an invitation. Otherwise, you can go out and search for the group Unpacking Racism. I will put the link in here as well. Again, this is for those who are serious and really, truly want to be part of the solution. This is for people willing to get vulnerable, willing to face their biases, willing to have the uncomfortable conversation, and willing to do the work. If that speaks to you, if you're looking for a safe space to engage in this conversation, a safe space to listen for understanding, a safe space to lean in and learn and educate yourself, then I highly, highly, highly urge you to join us. We welcome you. We have open arms. You will be surrounded in a just blanket of love, and we will ensure that you are being seen, heard, and respected as well. This is a very respectful, high integrity community who knows and is putting the premise of, we believe everyone is coming from the best place they can to learn and unlearn. And I will say it's as much about unlearning as, around our biases, so that we can truly be the leaders we were designed and destined to be. And right now, this is a leadership conversation. Racism, white privilege, they are a leadership conversation. And we have an opportunity to lean into that and talk about what's the truth learn from others' experiences and lean in a way that's powerful so that we can create change. So as I see these comments, Renee, I see you. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Mike, absolutely would love for you to join us. Thank you for that. Wish you could be on the call right now too. Arch, it's wonderful to see you. Winnie, Sherry, yes. So again, please come join us in Unpacking Racism. There will be a podcast. There is our community. There is all kinds of resources that will be shared with you. And this is our way to take action, to lean in, to lead it forward and create something that's meaningful and different and powerful for how we all get to live together. So with that, everybody, just know I love you deeply. I thank you for giving me a moment of your time, and I look forward to seeing some of you in our community. Many blessings, much light and love, and just know that I am sending you all heart-to-heart hugs.